Hello, this is Rick Marshall, and you're listening to today's devotion. We focus today on Psalms 51, a very familiar psalm to us. You'll remember the beginning of that psalm where David says to wash him from his iniquity and cleanse him of all of his sin. We want to talk today about God's pardon. Someone said to me one time that the church has an unhealthy obsession about sin. He went on to say that if the average pagan walked into our church and heard the morbid confessions in our hymns and our prayers and the subject of our sermons, he would think he was probably more in a prison or psychiatric ward than a church. Now, it is true that a church is the only organization in the world whose members meet regularly to describe themselves as miserable sinners. It's not the church's fault, however. I would suggest to you that that's the message of this whole book, the Bible. And the Bible is simply a record of human experience, and sin is a cardinal fact of our existence throughout history. All you have to do is read the front page of a newspaper or listen to the evening news. In fact, any person with a moral sense is likely to be troubled more in his quiet and alone and reflective moments, more to be concerned about his failures and misdeeds, probably, than anything else in life. Obviously, the author of the psalm, whom we consider to be David, was overwhelmed with the awareness of his own sin. Awareness of sin caused him to see himself pretty clearly, but interestingly, it caused him to see God more clearly. And I want you to hear that. Awareness of sin doesn't simply have to make you feel down, but it can cause you to look up. He felt unclean before God and recognized the broken relationship that sin had caused. As illogical as it seems to pray to a perfect and holy God while you're a sinner, that's exactly what God wants us to do. David prayed for a sense of pardon, and he recognized that the evidence of pardon was found in feeling clean before God. One thing that every sinner needs to know about God's pardon is this. It hasn't or isn't simply an amnesty, that is, an unconditional forgiveness. Now, don't misunderstand that. Think with me a moment. The pardon of God is based on a new relationship, but David got it. Listen to what he said as a result of feeling that pardon from God in verse 13 of that same Psalms 51. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners will be converted unto thee. A broken spirit made whole again, a life changed to become an uplifting influence on others, a heart filled with praise. These are the blessings of a person who seeks and finds the pardon of God. May God bless you today.